Hey everyone, Jesse here. Hey, I just wanted to bring you a couple things to your attention. I want to talk about Build Back Better and the chances of it passing. We know that right now negotiations are kind of stalling out. We're seeing that Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, the two Democrats that are kind of pushing back against this bill. Like at first, this was supposed to be a $3.5 trillion bill, and they've revised it down half price actually to a $1.75 trillion bill. And negotiations are just literally stalled out right now. I just want to talk about some highlights of this bill, kind of what I believe is going to be cut out, and what I believe is still going to be left in. Now, obviously, this is a 2,100 page bill, so I'm not going to go obviously through every single page through this bill. So I'm going to go through the highlights and kind of just give you an update on where they're at and what I believe is going to stay and what's going to be thrown out. So let's just get started. The first one that was probably one of the most important, well, one of the most popular, I should say, was the child tax credit. And Democrats really pushed this one out there in the public, telling everyone how great it was. It really did help out families, especially during a time where we were just kind of opening back up. Our recovery was, coming alive. And it really did help out families, especially with children. And that's exactly what this was. But most people probably know what this is. But if you don't, the child tax credit, basically all it is a little bit higher of a tax cut. So instead of the $2,000 that you normally get per child, across the board, this one was a little bit different. You actually got it on a monthly basis. So if you had a child between below six and younger, I should say, sorry, they would get a $3,600 tax cut. So from that $2,000 to that $3,600. And they would get it on a monthly basis. And that adds up to be just $300 a month. Now, you could actually opt out of this on the IRS portal. I know a lot of families did. You could also update it if you had another child at the time. So if you had a child, like, let's just say in September, you could have gone to the IRS portal. You could have gone in there and you could have updated it. And you could have ended up getting that $600 on the next cycle, which was paid every 15th of every month. And it really seemed to benefit a lot of families. Now, this is gone now. We're in 2022, so this is no longer going. And Democrats want to extend this for at least another year. And many of them want to do permanently, actually. A lot of them are talking about that. And, Joe Manchin, who's really seems to be the only one that has a problem with it. Now, we don't know so much about Kristen Sinema because she really is negotiating more behind closed doors. She doesn't really give a whole lot of information, so we kind of have to throw her to the side a little bit and really kind of see what Joe Manchin's doing and what he's calling for. So he's calling for a work requirement, and no families get any money out of this deal that make over $200,000. So those are just some of his demands that he's stating, out in interviews and all this other kind of stuff. So that was just reported on the Hill, actually today. And then so let's talk. So another one that was fairly popular that a lot of people wanted was paid family leave, and this one was going to be for 4 weeks. This is in the House bill that was passed just last month. So, and obviously all it is so if you had a child for, any time, you would just get paid for 4 weeks. And it was a requirement that the government would require businesses to pay for at least 4 weeks. And the way it was kind of set up was a little bit different. I'm not going to get into that because this does seem like it's going to be kind of dead. So I'm not going to really touch more about it. If any updates about this do come up and things change, I will come on here and give you a little bit of an update and exactly how it's all kind of written out. But in the meantime, just look up in the bill. It's definitely in there. So, and then another big one. This is one that stocks really are kind of betting on. Really, is the vehicle and the home energy efficient rebate. So, basically, what this is, if you're able to put like solar panels up on your house, you get like a tax write off. That kind of things for the home ones at least. Now, obviously, vehicle infrastructure, like buying a Tesla, buying a Ford, buying any electric vehicle that's out there, GM, you know all those different electric cars that are out right now. Um, and they used to do. They actually had it all the way up till I believe 2019. You could get a $7,500 rebate, a tax write off on your taxes, obviously. And they're wanting to actually extend this through the full 10 years, I do believe, is what I was reading about. And obviously per vehicle. And then if like they were actually wanting to also add in something a little bit extra. So like if a company like Ford, for instance, they are under a union, they were actually going to give an extra $5,000, so $12,500, for being a union company, basically. Now, Manchin is pushing back against this one hard, so I don't think we're going to see that $12,500 for the union companies, but it does seem like he's on board with that $7,500. Obviously, with Toyota being in West Virginia, they have a big plant there. He's not gonna vote for something like that. And this is expected to cost around $500 billion. Is their estimate for all this. With green energy, it's a whole bunch more stuff than just those two things that I read about that I just touched on. But that is kind of what the green energy sector is. It's actually $550 billion is kind of what was in the bill that I was reading. So that's another one. And stocks are really moving on this and really expecting this to pass. It'll help out so many companies that are, like Ford, GM, also Toyota, Tesla, obviously as well. But it would also benefit, right now the way it's written, the places that have unions. So Ford, GM, those kind of plants that are under that kind of union base. The next thing I want to touch on is the universal PreK for 3 and 4 year olds, to help to get them a little head start. So basically, it would just be a touch off of preschool, basically. So, you can take your 3 or 4 year old in, and it kind of gives parents a break from paying a lot of childcare. Say for 5 years. They're able to go to school all of a sudden, and it also add jobs. More teachers, that kind of thing. So, and as far as it looks like, Joe Manchin doesn't have anything to say, but on that. So that one looks like that could make the bill. Now, Sinema, we still don't know. So we're not too sure about her. And I'm sure other candidates as well are fine with all this kind of stuff. And like I said, this is a 2,135 page bill. So, this is a huge bill. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of touch on the popular items, if you will, kind of things that everyone knows about. Now, this bill is out there. You can read the whole thing if you want to. And like I said, just Krista Sinema, we don't really know what she's going to want. She's negotiating behind closed doors. A lot of things she's saying she will not raise taxes on. So like the corporate tax rate, which is at 21%, she does not want to raise that. That is one thing that I have read about, and that was reported by The Hill as well. And she just doesn't negotiate exactly what she wants in public. So until this bill is really written, we're not going to know exactly what her tax rate is. The House bill will still be a little bit different than what the Senate will kind of revise, send back to the House, and the House will have to pass that version of this bill. So there's definitely things that are going to be changing in this. Now I want to get into whether we believe this is actually going to pass. I do believe something will pass. So, but I do believe it's going to be a long road ahead. I am seeing, you know, I'm seeing somewhere in the time frame of June. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if they don't pass this by that July 4th cutoff where they go on vacation, I don't see this getting done because they're going to be in re-election mode right after that. Now, they might be able to do like a couple standalone bills for some of these popular items like I just mentioned. And they may be able to get a couple things passed, but my guess is it would pretty much be dead at that point. And I don't really see any way that that's going to get done. But again, this is all Joe Manchin's demands basically are saying that this is going to be paid for. So I do believe something's going to get cut. Like I said earlier, I believe that the child tax credit could get I think it could easily get eliminated. It's pretty expensive. Now, I know he wanted a work requirement like we touched on, and all those kind of things that would, help the price come down. But in the end, I am seeing Joe Manchin pretty well get exactly what he wanted originally, which was about a $1.5 trillion bill. And, obviously, so something's got to get cut because right now this House version, I do believe, was like estimated at like a 1.8. So, $300 billion's got to be cut somewhere. And Joe Manchin doesn't want this to be, he wants everything to be paid for over the next decade. So, like, for instance, in the House version, this child tax credit is only revised for 1 year, so just the whole year of 2022. Well, Joe Manchin doesn't want that because he knows over the scale of 10 years that that's going to add up to be a whole lot more than just the $100 billion it's going to cost in 2022. So that's going to be a problem. So they're going to have to do a lot of revising. They're going to have to really tone this down. They're going to have to cut quite a bit of programs to get this around where it's paid for over the next decade. And he doesn't want any programs to be extended through that decade. So with that, I do believe the child tax credit will go just because of it's really expensive. I know that they can probably do some other things, but either the green energy or the child tax credit is gone, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go with the child tax credit. It's really expensive. It actually costs a lot more than what the green energy that they were wanting, and progressives don't really want to give up that green energy. So I do believe that's what's going to end up going. And like I said earlier, if Democrats don't pass this by that July 4th, 4th of July cutoff date, I don't see this happening. There's no way that they're going to be able to. Like I said, standalone bills, they may be able to work a little bit with the Republicans to get something passed by the end of the year. But by that time, re-election's going to be here. I don't see anything that would get done. It would obviously be a win for everyone if they could get something passed, bipartisan support, which could end up happening. I don't know, but it would obviously have to be toned way, 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 way down if it was bipartisan support. And right now, I just don't see that happening, especially with re-election. In an off year, that may be different, but with elections coming up, I don't think anyone will really want to touch this. So, like I said, that July 4th is going to be key. This is just kind of what I'm seeing. Like I said, this is an opinion-based. It's just what I'm seeing and reading right now. Hopefully, these negotiations start to kind of come in place. When they do, I'll definitely come on here and update you some more. But this is just where we're at right now, and we're really at a stalemate. And really no negotiations are going on. Democrats have a bunch of stuff they're trying to get done right now. Get the government funded. That comes up here real soon. They got their plate full with a bunch of stuff that they're going to have to deal with, and that they're wanting to get done in the House and Senate and send to the president's desk. to be signed. So it'll be very interesting. I don't think that we're going to see any negotiations really come on until the government's funded, which would be, sometime in February would be my guess. If they kick the can down the road, man, I don't know. Republicans may vote with them, kick it down another 2 months, negotiations start again. I don't know. I don't know if anything would get done at that point. I think they have to get a budget for the government figured out for this thing to even pass. So there's some things they're teetering on this. I don't know if this is going to get done. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be coming on again soon with another video. Thanks for tuning in.